Hi everyone, my name is Ibioye Onikekpe, your favorite girl, Ikekpe Mama. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. I just want to say thank you for listening to previous videos and following through. Thank you for subscribing. God bless you. So today I have another exciting thing to talk about. A couple of days ago, I think last week, my siblings and I celebrated my parents, when they marked their 48th wedding anniversary. So basically, my siblings and I talked about things we feel or we felt that had sustained their marriage till now. Because it was a short video, we didn't get to talk about everything elaborately. But I have today a list of other things that I think that has sustained my parents' marriage till now, and I would like to share with you. These are things that my siblings and I have inculcated in our lives, in our marriages, and I think it's something good for you to share from. I think there are things in this that you're gonna benefit. And if you enjoy this, if you like it, please subscribe for more videos and send to your loved ones. So let's say this is a part B of the ones my siblings and I earlier started. And I will start with sacrifices. If I'm going to talk about sacrifices, I'm going to talk about it on two bases. First basis with my parents, spouse to spouse, sacrificial you know sacrificial treatments to each other, and parents to child sacrificial treatments. So I'll start with my parents, particularly my mom. She had made major sacrifices to the home, both financial, both physical, both emotional sacrifice. And I think that's a major part of a marriage. Marriage is give and take. One party shouldn't just keep giving while the other party keeps receiving. Both parties have to give, particularly for we women. I think we need to do more in our giving, especially financially. Let me give an instance of my home. My mom, um she helped financially with our school fees. Most times, when daddy would delay payments, mommy would have augmented and paid these things, and when daddy has it available, he gives her back. So she was like his financial backbone. They rather met with each other for finances than go outside, per se, like that. And okay, let's that's school fees about the children. Let's talk about structural development. When they were building the home in which me and my siblings grew up in. We spent the latter part of our childhood. Mommy contributed a lot, when daddy got the land, and was doing certain projects. She also contributed, when she had money for the windows. She had money for other things. She did this thing, she put these things, she made her money readily available, for the sacrifice of the family, for a shelter over our heads. I think women should do these things, because it's very difficult for a man who sees that you have done these major sacrifices, to just treat you as trash and say you do not mean anything to him. He knows that if he asks you to leave, you're going to pull down your windows or pull down the terrazzo you made on the floor or the tiles or something. So basically, we saw mom doing these things. We saw her not being selfish with her finances. We saw her sacrificing her money, for the home, for him, for us. So we saw her basically do these things. Then I'll talk about their finances again. I don't think they had a joint account. In fact, we said no, they didn't have a joint account. But despite they collaborated to do projects together. you know Daddy is very laid back when it comes to spending. Meanwhile, mommy is a spontaneous spender. Doesn't mean she spends trivially. No. you know once she sees a need needs to be met, she goes for it. She won't suffer for it. She won't allow her children suffer for it. She won't allow her home suffer for it. So for that reason, I don't know the reasons why they didn't have a joint account, but I can say on that basis, mom's mom money was readily available, for us, for the family. Mom was the kind of person that, if daddy wasn't in town and we had electrical problems, she was not the kind to call dad and, she she'll get the number of an electrician. She'll get the number of an electrician, and within minutes he's around, he does it, and she pays. So mom was financially independent, extremely independent, and that made her achieve a lot, you know. And I should also mention that that allowed mom to soar higher, in academics. I think I was around 7 8 years when mom went for her masters, and this was not a man, limiting his wife and telling his wife that, she shouldn't soar higher. No, it was a man that pushed his wife forward. It was a man that, encouraged his wife to achieve, things that she could achieve. And they kind of made it the basis for for us children. My parents would say, look, they have in their own days, if they can achieve a master's degree, the least we should have in the house, should be master's degrees, our master's degrees. So it was a basis that once you're a child in the Adeyemo home, you're going to go from primary all the way to your master's. It was just basics, you had no contention on that. So that was, I think, another sacrifice they made, because everybody knows, for you to train up your child to that level, you must have spent a lot of money. And this makes me remember the fact that, they just didn't send you to schools. They sent you to, if not the best, one of the best. And, this required a lot of sacrifice, a lot of financial sacrifice, so they had to cut their coats, to their size. And, they had to, I remember, okay, let me say this. I remember when I was to attend uni, that was Ajayi Crowther University. The money my parents used for my first school fees was a part payment from the money they were saving up to get a new car. So they had to sacrifice, the fact that they wanted a car at that instance for my schooling. They later got the car, but it was a set plan for them. So this is just, an example for you to know that, my parents took, education as fundamental, as the basis. Another Yemo child must go to school, and you must at least read to your master's degree. So that being said, let me go to the children, but somehow they are interwoven, because even the past point I gave had some things to do with us. But okay, I've talked about our education. Let me talk about our finances. The finances in other retrospect. I've talked about when you education and other things. Let me talk about it um on a domestic basis. My parents taught us to lean on each other. So you find the Adeyemo children, asking or taxing themselves within the house. So before you see us, extend these financial tentacles outside, it means that we've taxed ourselves in the house and it's not enough. Or, it's, yeah, it's really not enough. So usually, within ourselves, we would have taxed ourselves, and if the need is met, then we don't go outside. So we are each other's financial cushion. You understand? So like my older sister, if she needs money, she rather comes to me than she goes to meet a friend. If I need money, I rather go to my sister or my brother, my sisters or my brother, than, and this is because we feel that in-house we cover each other's nakedness. We are not the kind to, borrow you money and flout it out, wash your dirty linen in public. No, we won't. We believe that we are a family, and even if we have issues, and we get angry, we wouldn't expose each other outside. So, and these are the basic things my parents have taught us. So financially, we tax each other, we depend on each other, it looks like, everybody has something because everybody puts their resources together to assist each other. Even that's even aside finances, in anything, we come together to achieve things, to with advice, with whichever way, it could be an input, it could, we just come together to assist each other. So that has kind of, helped the family close, held, the family close. And when it comes to advice, my parents don't feel too big per se. They come to us with the children. Oh, we want to do this. What do you think? What do you advise? So they listen to everybody's points and they pick the best. So they don't treat their children like, your kids, what do you know? What do you have to say? No. Everybody sits, discusses, and they pick the best option. That's my parents. That's how, they've made the family fame over the years. And it makes me also remember this. Um when it comes to when it no no let me say, let me put it this way. There's this adage that Yorubas call key and there's this belief that parents feel that when their children are married and settled, they begin to enjoy the dividends of their labor. You know, do you believe that my parents' orientation about this is quite different? Should I tell you why? Most African homes believe that when your children are settled, it's time to sit back, fold your arms, and begin to enjoy from the children. They begin to give you some money and all that. My parents do not believe in this. My parents believe in the fact that, you know, they do not want anything from their children. The only thing they feel is the food of satisfaction from their children to them is when they see their children independent and succeeding. So my parents say that alone is enough joy, enough satisfaction for them. So my parents are like, the what money do you want to give them? Like, not like you can't give them anything, but they are convenient, they are comfortable on their own. They are not greedy parents per se, to keep demanding, no. Like, they just want to see you succeed. They want to see you independent, financially independent. They want to see you um emotionally okay. They just want to know that everything with you and your family, you and your spouse, your children is fine. That enough is a source of joy to them. So they are not this kind of parents that believe that you have to give a feedback. Your feedback should be the fact that you are you are tenacious, you are hardworking, you are making it in your field. You don't lean on them for every stability and all that. So because of this reason, listen to this very well. Because of this reason, my parents kind of gave every of their children a platform. You asked me what kind of platform. My parents, um when we all got married, even my younger brother is not yet married, but even my brother had this platform. um we were, before we got married, my parents sat. Oh, I knew when they sat my elder sister down, when they sat me down and my younger sister down, and I didn't know when they sat my brother down, but I saw the evidences of these things in him, so I knew the same thing applied to him. And when they got married, they for me, my parents asked me, do I want a car? And I was like, no. Decided to take one of the old cars in the house. So I was given the cash of that. So that kind of formed, a should I say like a solid foundation for me. You understand? It formed a solid foundation for me. For God's sake, where would I have ever found that kind of money? And same thing applied to my siblings. So whichever way they could help to give you that foundation, to give you that leverage, that footing, instead of starting from the scratch, because most couples tend to start from the scratch, when they get married, start hustling. My parents said, because they did this, it took them time to make it, but because they already have a foundation, they want us to stand on that foundation. You understand? So to supersede theirs, where they started, from lower, they put us on a foundation. This makes us, to achieve things faster. You understand? This makes us to achieve our dreams faster. While others might be running 1,000 miles, we might just run 100 miles because we have the support. There's this Yoruba adage that says, it's not riches or making it in life is not by your hard work, it's by the support you get from others. So we had this fundamental support, we had this foundational support from our parents, especially with the way the world is going, and everything is tough and everything. It was really a solid foundation for me and my siblings, and I appreciate my parents for this, because if my parents were not in my life, I will not be where I am today. No, I won't be where I am today. And I thank God for them. And I hope that, you would to do that for your children, because I have the intentions of doing that for my children. They are not the kind of parents to feel that the riches will come to you after they are dead. When the lawyer comes and read his will, and that's when you have this from mom and you had this from dad. No. They have given what it is they have to give now. It might not be all, but they're giving, certain things to us, important things to us, that has set a pace of a faster race for us. You understand? So those are the part of the things, I know that has held my home, that has held my even my extended home, even my sisters, my siblings, that has held, my parents' home. They believe in collaborative efforts, to assist each other. I would not be in a place of opportunity now. I will not want to assist my siblings, because we have, inculcated these habits. My parents has, made us made us have these habits as part and parcel of us. You people come first. When you have your family, instill these things in your family. Let them know that you have to help each other. Yeah, help could come from outside, but remember that you have to help each other. You have, once one person makes it, let the other make it. Those are part of the things the Stickable family has inculcated in us. And this relates to birthdays. You say birthdays? Yeah, birthdays. When we were younger, my parents used to celebrate our birthdays, and I'm not talking about parties and all that. This was about giving you something that you needed, not just once. You understand? So they could buy something you really need, probably towards your education, or just a useful gift, a very useful gift. And this trend followed till we grew older. When we began to start receiving pocket monies. So at first it could be something small because of the kind of pocket money we were receiving. But when we grew financially independent, these gifts became bigger. And the core value of the fact that you are not just giving anything, you are giving something that is needed, something that the person really needs, is in their need, and not because this person can afford it, but sometimes because we could play smart on the person. Okay, give an instance. One of my sisters, there was a time her machine was faulty, and she planned to get another one. And what we did was, because her birthday was around that time, we played a smart one on her. So what we did was, we ordered for a machine, a washing machine, a little more sophisticated than the one she was using, and we got it delivered to her. So when she saw it, she was shocked. Oh, and I was just about to buy this. I was planning to buy this, because of my work. I've been busy. I've not been able to, go do the shopping and all that. She was pleased. She was happy, and she got to save her money. So we do things like that. You could have a bad phone, and you've not replaced it, and everybody knows. And on your birthday, everybody decides to get you a phone. It happened like that. Sometimes you are asked, like if they really don't know what you need, you are asked, oh, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want us to do for your birthday? Sometimes you are not asked, but you find out that whatever it is they get for you is something that is very needed. And birthday is very exciting for us, like, what am I going to get on my birthday? What's the next thing I'm going to get? Or you start thinking, okay, my next birthday, if I'm asked, what am I going to suggest? What is it I'm going to say I need? So we had these things, I could say major things in my life, major gifts that I've had in my life, are courtesy the Stickable family. Yeah, courtesy the Stickable family. And I'm very sure for my siblings to major gifts that they've had in their lives are courtesy the Stickable family. But mind you, is always within our budgets. Yeah, always within our budgets. And let me see if there's any other thing I need to talk about. Okay, celebrations and relaxations. Okay, celebrations, this is aside our birthdays. This is the general celebrations like New Year, Easter, Christmas. Is always fabulous. You know why? We inculcated the culture. It started with mom of cooking elaborately. The kind of foods you will not just eat on a normal day. Mom will do them meatballs, very rich salad, very spicy jollof rice, and fried rice, and the chicken, and things that that when you do on a normal day, they are just regular. But you take your time to make something really special, on Christmas Day, and it became a norm, to the extent that when I got married, and during Christmas, I show up at home to take mommy's salad. Yeah, I show up at home to eat mommy's salad and take her jollof rice, and I take some packages home. So yeah, it was, these things became a norm, and it made it special, during occasions. And the funny thing is that even now, that's just mom and dad. My mom still does these things. You just see dad come on the family platform and say, oh, thank your mom, she made this, for this celebration. Although I miss you children around me, but I really enjoyed myself. So she still does this, and I have inculcated these habits too. So when we have festivals, I like to cook elaborately. I want my children to have the kind of memories I have, if possible even better. Like, oh, I want them to grow up and say, oh, when we had, anytime we have Christmas or we are in Easter, mommy does this for us, mommy does that for us. Always within my budget anyway. Yeah, always within my budget. And relaxation, like, take for instance, during Valentine period, daddy likes going out, but we all dear mommy, go, mommy, go, mommy, go and enjoy yourself. I know he takes her out, they have a good time and they come home. And same thing that does on our birthdays. He takes us out, we go eat, we just basically have fun. It makes me remember my last birthday with dad as a spinster. He took me out and he was, like announcing to everyone there, yeah, this is my daughter. This is going to be her last birthday as a spinster. And, all of them were just really looking at me like, hmm. And, we had our dance, yeah, we had our dance and we ate together and we talked. He was telling me about marriage, what to expect and all that. It's birthdays are usually fun. Daddy takes you out and it's it's amazing. It's amazing. Mommy cooks something special for you at home, but dad, in the evening, go boogie it. You go boogie it with dad. So yeah, birthday periods were special moments for us, and I hope you inculcate that. I'm trying to inculcate that with my children too. Then on common grounds, yes, on common grounds, my parents had mutual friends. Yeah, any friend that was mom's friend, daddy knew the woman to the extent that he knew her husband. So they kind of created like a family friend thing. And the same thing is happening with me. My friends, I let my husband know them, and their husbands, and it becomes like a family friend kind of thing. So it's sweeter that way. That your friend is your spouse friend. And it's puts the value of friendship. It makes it stronger, it makes it last longer. That's the same thing I saw with my parents. My mom had, if an enemy, that same enemy was enemy with my dad, so they had mutual friends and mutual enemies. You understand? That's basically about their friendships and all that, and it extended to with the children. We are allowed to bring our friends home. So basically, if you are the friend of the Stickables, you sure know that you know my mom and you know my dad. My mom will know your name, know where you are living, not particularly your house, but your location. Okay, like I have a friend now doing, mom knows, she lives in Oshogbo, mommy knew she went to OAU, she knew where we met, and she has met Doyin a couple of times, Doyin has come to stay over in the house a couple of times. My daddy knows her. My dad might not know her by the name, but he will have a picture of her. Oh, how about that your friend that had a pimple on her cheek, that mutual friends, same with my siblings. So if you're a friend to me, you're a friend to my parents, you're a friend to my siblings, I basically know my sister's friends, all our close friends, for all of them. I know my sister's friends, and I know my elder sister's close friends too. They are friends with me. I give them their respect, quite all right, but they are also friends with me. They are people that I can chat with, and they could chat with me, So we had much, the family has mutual friends, and it has kind of kept the family, when you get involved, this is already beyond the surface. This is going personal. You are going to know your daughter's friends, your sister's friends, knowing their personality. They are also your friends, it makes the family stick together. It's beyond just waking up one morning and saying, oh, this we are dissolving this marriage. It's going a step further, to understand your daughter or to understand your son, and knowing the kind of friends they have, the kind of friends they keep, and all that. So basically, if my friend had an issue, and she told me, if I could help, I would help. And I could tell my parents and they could help. So it's like a communal friendship that we have. And I think this has basically helped us. So I think so far, this is what I have for you today. Probably I'll bring maybe part C, who knows. And if I don't, I think this is quite enough. And for my friends who were accusing me that I've not done justice to this topic, I hope this is okay now, and you've learned from this, and you really enjoyed yourself listening to this. So here is me saying thank you very much for listening again, for following through to the end. I appreciate you so much. It's a big deal to listen to a video like this, sitting down and listening to it. And I hope you got one or two things that you're going to adopt in your marriage, probably in future, or if you are married now. Anyway, thank you again. Hopefully that you stay tuned for more interesting and exciting editions of things I have to bring up on this channel. Okay, this is me saying my goodbyes, kisses, ciao.